What a joy that you have found us for this podcast. How exciting it is to think that this spiritual message is going out to people around this planet. Whether your life is working at a peak level or whether it can use some enhancement, have I got the message for you today. So get a piece of paper, get ready to take notes, call a friend, have them watch this podcast also. Then you too can have something to talk about and take it to a deeper level. So enjoy. Here we go.
Very good. Hi, everyone. I'm Rev.Tammy Miller. It's my joy to be with you here today. As Reverend Christian is in Costa Rica, as he's been there for the last 3 weeks, we get him back next week, so we're very excited about that. As many of you know, his father had passed away right before he left, and so I know it was a well-deserved time off for him to just restore his soul. I'm excited for him to come back next week for us to hear from him. But we're talking today about amazing grace. And exactly as the song was saying, that it's only getting better from here. And each day it gets to get better and better and better and better. Amazing Grace, for many of you that don't know, we have a Wednesday night service. It's called the Amazing Grace Service. And what we do there, the point of it, it's powerful. And the point of it is that we go beyond this realm of what we see, this realm of effects, this world that we're living in right now. And we are of this world. We occupy ourselves in these two worlds. But oftentimes we can get caught up with just our vision stuck on what we're doing and our everyday grind of the different things that we're doing and trying to fix what we're doing, trying to see what's wrong with what we're doing, and we're just here on this realm. But what we want to talk about today, what I want to talk about today, is amazing grace. And that grace is right underneath the surface. It's right underneath what we normally do. And it's there for us always. I had the wonderful pleasure, since Reverend Christian, he's on the board of directors of an Association for Global New Thought. And it is a global community of spiritual leaders that come together to bring this new thought through to the planet. And they had a wonderful, they teamed up actually with a couple different associations and had all came together at La Costa for a day. And they brought together some of the greatest minds of science, of quantum physics, those people that are finding that there really is no separation between God and life and God and science, and that they're actually seen in this quantum field that what we are talking about, the power of thought, the power of beliefs, and they're actually being able to measure grace on some levels. And they brought together these great spiritual leaders that are delving into the spiritual aspect of it. And in this oneness, they spent the day in conference talking about how we can take all of this leading edge information and bring it into the everyday life for us to use. And it's just powerful, the people that were there. And then afterwards, I got to join up with them because Reverend Christian was gone, and I got to meet with them. We took a bus from La Costa, and we had dinner at Deepak Chopra's house, which is up on the hills in La Jolla. It is absolutely beautiful, a full view of the ocean. But people that were with us were people like Jean Houston, Greg Braden, Joan Borisenko, Marianne Williamson, Deepak Chopra, Reverend Michael Beckwith, Reverend Kathy Hearn, Wendy Craig Purcell, Peter Russell, and Lynn Taggart. Some names that I didn't even know are some people that, I've seen their name on the book, on a title of a book, but there was only about 30 of us there. And actually, Reverend Michael Beckwith, he wasn't able to go to the conference that day. He had to call that morning and apologize, even though he was at dinner that night, because the Dalai Lama himself had asked to see Reverend Michael Beckwith. And Michael said, I'm kind of busy. I got this conference that I'm going to. Can we reschedule it? And His Holiness actually had rescheduled his trip so that he could stay and be with Reverend Michael Beckwith, which was incredible. So we got this journey down to Deepak's house, and his family were there, and his kids were there. His little granddaughter had a 4-year-old birthday, and we had cake and little ponies everywhere. And it was very cute because everyone was with their peers. And so everybody was really comfortable and coming, and we got to talk to everybody. It was very casual. It was really incredible. There was a gentleman there by the name of, I don't know his name, it's Giardi, I think, or Giardi, who used the power of energy. He actually asked Marianne Williamson to stand up, and he gave her a fork, and she held it in her hand, and he just rubbed his hands back and forth on her arm, and it was so powerful. She literally jumped and screamed. She could hardly handle the energy that he was running up in her arm. And he took that fork, and he spun it, and he actually twisted the fork 3 times. And showed it to us. So, there's some things going on there that we don't really understand. I mean, there's a lot more going on in our world, much more than we can see. But the beautiful thing about it was sitting in this consciousness that these are individuals that have dedicated their life to being and to going past the realm of this everyday living, to dip down, if you will, into that realm of something that's infinite, something that's bigger, something that's grander. They say that everything that exists already exists. But it takes the consciousness of an individual. It takes an individual that's willing to open up, to get out of their way, to get past this surface mind and to go down into those depths, to be able to capture an idea. All inventions were done this way. Electricity already existed, the internet already existed, airplanes existed, ships existed, but it took the consciousness of an individual that was willing to open up to it, to capture the idea. And that's the realm that I want to talk with you about today. That realm that's right below the surface, that we can open up to, so that we can take that dip down into that area and call forth something that's magnificent, something that's great, something that we want to bring forth into manifestation. These individuals have spent their life, and it is such an honor to just get a glimpse of it. I really think that's part of all of our journeys here. Each of us are these beautiful conduits of something that only is uniquely ours to express. It's ours alone. It's the right combination of everything that's about us, all of our life experiences, all our thoughts and beliefs, our parents, our childhood, our heritage, all of that we've come together that is able to capture a beautiful, unique idea. And then we can get in the presence of those individuals and we can feel them and they can be shared. This spiritual journey is about opening up. It's about allowing that something that's magnificent, that soul evolution, that high purpose of why we're here, allowing it to come forth and to share it with others. It's not about waking up in the morning and driving to work and going to work and doing this everyday life and making it through another day so that we can go to sleep. And I understand that is our life and we're busy with that. But it just takes a shift in perception, a shift in eyesight, a shift in seeing. And we can have a whole nother world. For these individuals, what we teach here in the Centers for Spiritual Living is not a religion, or it's not a doctrine, or it's not history about learning it. What we teach in Science of Mind is the practical application of the ancient wisdom that has been around forever and the wisdom that is here to come. We're about applying it to our everyday life. So we have the opportunity here to open the door, and we're invited into the infinite realm of possibilities. That's what we're doing. We're opening the door, and we're invited into the infinite realm of possibilities. And we can choose to take of it as much as we want, to use as much as we want, and to call forth as much as we want in our lives. And that's a big, tall order. And we don't have to do it all at once. It's something we can do a little bit at a time. And how powerful that is. Those aha moments that we get, those aha moments are those dips into that infinity, into that infinite mind, into that amazing grace. For we know that God works a miracle everywhere, anytime, and with anyone. God works miracles anytime. You don't have to be positioned right. You don't have to have everything right. You don't have to have it all lined up. God works miracles anytime, anywhere, with anyone. No ifs, ands, and buts. No limitations. No wins. Right now. Right in this moment. Anytime. And so we studied on the Wednesday night service. We just finished up the series on life visioning. Life visioning is a technology, is a spiritual technology, a tool. It's a type of meditation where we can literally just stop and get still. In order for us to go into that realm, we literally need to stop our mind. Eckhart Tolle says that our thinking part of us, the thinking part of us is just a small, minute part of who we really are, of our essence, of how massive we are. The thinking is a minute part. Now, when you think about that, how much of time do we think focused on our thinking? Majority of it. And if it's just a minute part, we're spending too much time in there and not in the vast part of who we are. And that's what what visioning is about. It is about literally going within. It is quieting the mind. It is getting still. And it is simply asking the question, what is God's divine idea of my life? And sitting in the quiet. And having the patience to listen. What is the idea of my life? What is the purpose? What does it look like, sound like, feel like? What do I need to become in order for this to be manifest? What do I need to let go of in order for this to come forth? And so it is simply an asking one question at a time and just listening. For the universe always answers. Life will always answer. It may not happen right away, but if we ask, it is impossible to keep asking and not get an answer. And so that's what we are stepping into, out of the realm of the busy thinking mind and stepping into that aspect of it. But in order for us to do that, we need to move to that place of infinite. We need to go past that part which we see. So how can we really believe that that which we physically see is all there is? And when you look at it from that standpoint, how can we really believe that just that which we physically see is all there is? There's so much more than that is going on. I shared this on Wednesday night, but I'm still just totally blown away by this and awe with it. I want to share it with you. My son for my birthday in May bought me a pair of polarized sunglasses. And, he just kept going on and on about these sunglasses. And, and I've never been a big sunglass person. I'm $12 at Target, sit on them, buy another pair. It's just like, it's no big deal. But he's really into sunglasses and, for years. And I'm just like, so finally on my birthday, he said, Mom, I want to buy you this really nice pair of sunglasses. And he took me to buy this pair of sunglasses. The sunglasses actually cost him like $400. It was like, whoa. He owed me enough money, though. I figured I could make it up somehow, It's like, what the hell, So we get these glasses, and how many people have polarized sunglasses? Okay, some of you. It is the most incredible thing you've ever seen in your life. If you don't have any, you need to go to a store and put some on. Because you can see different than you've ever seen before. When you put these glasses on, everything gets so bright and so colorful. You can see things that you've never seen before. I mean, literally, and I still do this, but for like the first month, I would be driving to work and I'd put them on and I'd call my son and I'd say, this is the greatest gift you've ever given me. Because I can see so clearly. You can see everything so much better. Everything it's like 1,000 times more bright, 1,000 times more alive. And to walk through life literally enjoying every single thing you look at and seeing the miracle of it and how incredible it is. What a way to live life. Truly, what a way to live life. All of a sudden, you're stepping out of the mundane way of living and everyday scene, and you get this gift that allows you to see something that is so bright and so magnificent and something that you've never seen like it before. It's powerful. And that's what this spiritual journey is. That's what this way of living is. It's making a choice to be able to see. It was there all along, hiding in plain sight. Because you have to have the eyes to see it. And to have the eyes to see it is a choice. It's something we choose to do. It's something we train ourselves to do. And that's what this journey is all about. Oprah, I'm an Oprah fan. I DVR it and watch Oprah from time to time. And one of my favorite guys on there is Dr. Oz. How many people are familiar with Dr. Oz? He's great. He's a great guy. I love everything about him. And he said something the other day which I thought was really powerful and stuck in my mind. He was talking about health. He's all about our health and our body. And he was talking about that. And he said, we don't have to get rid of our bad habits. We have to just replace them with good habits. Simple sentence that can go by. But when you really start thinking about that and thinking about how we normally run our life, that is really profound. We don't have to go in and fix all of our issues. We don't have to go in and change all of that stuff that's going on. And we've all tried it because we've all had the pain of trying to motivate our willpower, trying to keep our willpower up. We all do it at the beginning of the year with our New Year's resolutions. We're all trying to, make something happen and use all of this energy. But you don't have to do that. What you have to do is replace it with the good. I experienced this just like 3 years ago. I started deciding to focus on nutrition. I thought it was time to start looking at all of those kinds of things. And I didn't get rid of those bad habits that I had, but I just started adding things to my life. I added like walnuts or almonds in the morning. I added a better sweetener to my coffee versus the chemical stuff. I just started adding little things at a time. I'd read about it and I'd just add this to my life and add that to my food and that. And all of a sudden my body started taking over this whole new shape. It started going into what's naturally meant for it to be by adding the good to our life. It's similar to a light. On Wednesday night, we light candles, and it represents that where there is light, there can be no darkness. So it's not like you have to go in and fix the darkness. You just add the light, and the darkness disappears. So we do that also in our thoughts. We don't have to go in and change all our thinking and have this. We just add the good. We add the truth. We add the light. We make a choice and a decision that we're going to be spending time in this realm of the infinite. We add that to our life, and everything that doesn't match it on an energetic level falls by the wayside. It just goes away. It may not go away instantly, but it just goes away. All of a sudden, those bad eating habits or whatever you're doing just goes away. The same is true like I know when Reverend Paul, when he first was diagnosed with his cancer, one of the things that he did was went to this Sonoviva, a big center down in Mexico. And they've had tremendous results on different cancer treatments, but what they do is they add to these people's diet. They add fresh fruits and vegetables. They add a lot more alkaline. They add stuff to it, and from that, people heal. We add the good to our lives so we can just have a big sigh. Thank God I don't have to go fix it all. I can focus on the good. I can go there. And that's literally what we're doing. That's literally what this journey is about. Dr. Oz says that the miracle of life is that nothing that happened before this moment has any bearing on what's possible now. Nothing that happened before this moment has any bearing on what's possible now. So we don't have to bring the past with us and all of that garbage that we had with us and all that baggage. We don't have to bring it with us. It has no bearing, zero, no bearing on what's possible in this moment. What's possible in this moment is infinite possibilities, and none of that past has to go into this moment. We can just leave it behind. Again, it's where our focus, it's where our intention and attention is. And so we live a life in wonderment, if you will. And so we start to be able to see with these glasses, and we start to be able to see with this wonder that is everywhere present. It reminds me of going, and I'm sure all of you remember the first time that you ever went to an amusement park. At the amusement park, there, I remember, because I was born and raised here in San Diego, but I remember we used to go to Disneyland. And I remember as a kid, boy, walking in those front doors, and it was just like, so many things to do, and it's so wonderful, and every single ride had so much to see, and there was so much going on, and you were just full of that experience in every single thing that you did. You know, the truth is with the right glasses on, with the right lenses on, everything in life is like that. Every individual that you meet, everywhere that you go, every experience that you have, if you're not in there all stuck in your head and winding all around it, you can literally enter into any situation and just sit in the watching and the allowing of the miracle, the orchestration of something that already knows what it's doing, something magnificent that's flowing through here with the eyes to see. I had my grandson Friday night, and children, I am so loving being a grandmother because children have so much to teach us. They are just incredible. They're so unconditioned. They're not conditioned already. They don't really know all of that stuff. And they just have so much to teach us. And he was actually kind of uneasy, kind of bored, I guess, sitting in the house. And so I decided to take him for a walk. And I just hold him like this and let him sit looking out. He's 3 months old now. And he can sit up pretty good like that. And we just went for a walk around my neighborhood. And it was really an incredible experience because, of course, he can't talk, so we don't have any of that busy mind stuff going on or any of those kinds of things. We're just completely in the present, completely in the now, and just walking around. And that little guy he'd look at the plants, and he'd just stare at them. I mean, not blinking or anything, he'd just look. And he just spent the whole time just like looking around at everything. It ended up, because he was so comfortable, it ended up that I walked around, I bet, for an hour. I mean, my arms were tired. It's like, but I just loved watching his wonderment. You know, not saying anything, not really doing anything, just sitting in the essence of being. And he was gathering it, as Eckhart Tolle says, he was gathering it from everything that was around him. When we can sit in that space, there's gifts and the flowers and the trees and all of that. They're shining their essence, and you are sharing an essence. There's an intimacy that goes on with life when you're just being and observing. And then after a while of that, he was in such a place of peace and calm. He just was ready for bed. Wouldn't that be nice for us, huh? Just go to bed. Stay there all night. There's a lot to be learned from these small children. But it's powerful. It's powerful what is going on all around us. What is God's amazing grace that is shining everywhere around us? It is incredible. And it has the gifts for it. It has all the answers for us. It has all the healing for us. It is already there. We never have to go outside ourselves. We just go in. For the Bible says it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. And we hold the keys. All we have to do is open the door. So often we live our life thinking that, okay, whatever lifespan that I had, you know, in the youth days or the early days were good, and we're on our way to this decline. But the truth is it just keeps getting better and better and better. We're not on a decline, we're on an incline. An incline of more joy, an incline of more wisdom, an incline of more good, an incline of more love, more consciousness, more awareness. We're on an incline of more God. But we have to make a decision. We have to make the decision from here forward. We are going to have more joy than we've had before. We have to make the decision. We have to make the decision from here forward. We're going to have more peace than we've ever had before. We need to make the decision, decide right now that we will have more love than we have ever felt, realized, or experienced before. We need to make the decision. that we will dip down into that realm of vastness, and we will experience and see and feel more of God's amazing grace than we have ever felt before. It is ours, and it's just waiting for us. Let's journey there together. Yes. Let's turn within as we say, thank you, Mother, Father, God, for this truth, for this spiritual journey, for this realization, for this amazing grace, for it bestows to all of us all and so much more. For we know in this moment, right here and right now, we sit in the infinite possibilities of all of life. Right here, right now, all is well. In every moment, as we sit in this now space, we can always ask, and all is well, from moment to moment to moment. For we are on an incline of life, of more good, of more God. Things are only getting better and better and better and better, and I claim it right here and right now for each and every one of us as we let go and let God and allow that good that is knocking at our door. We accept its invitation and we come on in and we take and we give and we receive all that we desire. For it is God's good pleasure to give us the kingdom, and we accept it right here and right now. And so it is. Amen.
Again, a lot of heart and soul and passion. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. Hey, I trust you enjoyed that podcast. It was very exciting to be able to create that and to know that there are people like you all around the world that are observing and integrating these spiritual principles into their life. And so if you enjoyed it, what I'd like to do is encourage you to tell a friend or bring several friends together and watch another one of these podcasts, and then afterwards take some time to talk about the spiritual principles, to talk about the stories and what significance they have and relevance they have in your life. What then happens is it moves to a deeper and deeper level in your world. It becomes real and assists you to create the freedom in your life that your heart and soul so desire.